Hola, soy Daniel Ders y estás viendo The Extreme Scene. Hi, I'm Daniel Ders and you're listening to The Extreme Scene.
Thank you, Daniel Ders, arguably the top BMX rider in the world. The Extreme Scene, Omar Echeverry, myself, Cyrus Sauces. Yeah, we're waiting for Laird Hamilton to call in. We'll see what's up, man.
Seriously.
Please make it work.
Come on.
And then we could have the king of big wave surfing
I'm
on
excited.
the program.
I'm curious about his new book.
Let's see if this works.
Have you ever see the, I believe they did a Cribs, and it showed all the supplements he takes, and it looked really cool.
Okay, well, we'll find out. Joe, are we good? All right, we got the king of big wave surfing on the program. His new book is called Force of Nature. Laird Hamilton. Laird, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Yes.
Sorry if I've been, a little hard to find. I don't want to live up to the stereotyping, the surfer stereotyping.
No worries, man. No worries. So, are you in your home state of Hawaii?
I am, yes.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
I am. I've just kind of returned here the last couple of weeks. It's been nice to get back into some oxygen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. And where have you been? Have you been on a tour? What have you been up to?
Just finishing up being in California in the summer, like the training season, and then of course, we launched the book right when I was ready to leave to Hawaii. So I was trying to run around and do some last minute media and some signings and stuff like that.
Nice. And let's just jump right into that. Tell us a little bit about this book. It looks really cool. We're reading about it online, and we've been talking about it. What is it, and is it exactly?
To describe it in just a few seconds, I say it's like a little life manual or user's manual for life philosophies. I mean, I quote a comedian, Dennis Miller, as these are my opinions, and I could be wrong, of course.
Right. And I love Dennis. Dennis Leary's brilliant, by the way, too.
Love him.
Absolutely. And so the book is fantastic, by the way.
I don't know how he could have got it. I don't know how.
What are you doing back there, Laird?
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay. Are you eating? Are you at a restaurant?
I'm not. Actually, you heard Ginger and Marianne, my pet pigs.
Oh man,
I love it.
I got some 300-pound pigs, and they're a little hungry right now. So they're making noise and chewing on the picnic table.
I love it.
Ginger, here, watch. Here, Ginger, say hi. Hi.
We're talking pigs. I love it.
I love it.
Oh man.
And
that's Ginger.
I'm gonna see that.
That's Ginger. I grew up at a pig farm, so I'm kind of payback now. I have some pigs, and they just eat my house, and
I put it on 2 arrays, so that way you can have.
Beautiful. I love. Well, speaking of growing up, you're on the air in San Francisco right now. This is where you were born, correct?
I mean, I've
yes.
got all the.
And is
I was born in San Francisco, and my mother took me to Hawaii, when I was real young. But I was actually at the university hospital. My mom had free medical, so they could do some experiments with me.
That's crazy. So, how old are you?
Story, by the way. What's that?
How old were you when you moved to the islands?
My mom took me out of California when I was, just an infant, and brought me to Hawaii. But I used to come back and forth, even when I was young. So it seems like I've been doing that for a long time. I always say it was a technicality that I was born in San Francisco, but I have a connection, obviously, with it. I don't know if you know that wherever you're born, your internal clock is kind of set by that location.
Right.
So it's just I have a connection definitely with San Fran, but Hawaii is
Oh, it's definitely home.
Is the home. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure, that's cool. And a little bit more about your book. So does this? I mean, you've obviously been known for being extremely fit. So many different ways of training and wave riding, and just you name it, you've done it. And does this book talk about all those different kinds of trainings and diets? Is that basically what it entitles?
Yeah, it's not an autobiography. That's the main thing I tell people. You got to get past the surfing part. That's just really to attract people into it, and it's just a lot of information that I share with my friends and people that I know on a regular basis anyway. And it was a way to kind of put it all together into something kind of more concise and that people could use. And like I said, I've been exposed to an incredible amount of intelligent people in their different fields, and that's helped me. I always say you're only as good as the people surrounding you. So it's like that's helped me so much in all facets of my life that I think it's just nice to be able to kind of share that with some people as well.
That's amazing. And I know you obviously went through some injuries throughout your career too, and I believe you had a back injury for a while. I
did, yeah. I did. I had a chronic lower back injury. In fact, I was doing an Amex spot, a commercial, and
everybody's
off a cliff and out of a helicopter.
Yeah.
For part of it, and there was one day when I couldn't really even get out of bed, and I was supposed to jump off like some giant cliff. So maybe it was just the anxiety of jumping off the cliff was giving me a sore back, whatever it was. I ended up putting like 100 pounds of ice in a bathtub, putting a Walkman on, and I sat in it and laid inside in the tub, filled it with water, and just laid underneath it for about 15 minutes, and I felt like I had a whole new back.
Yeah, and that Amex commercial, seriously, it puts you in a whole another level of stature because, you clearly are like one of those guys who has built a success in the subculture of surfing, but you're now like in the mainstream for being the king of not just big wave surfing, but waterman. And that Amex commercial to me kind of really like sets you in that position.
Yeah.
Well, I've been really fortunate to also be, at the, that right place at the right time. But I think it's been an objective of mine for a long time to maybe bring the respect to surfing that it deserves. And surfing really is being a waterman and being versatile and being able to do whatever it takes in the ocean to really be productive, take advantage of the different conditions and that stuff. So, it's an honor for me, but at the same time, I feel like an obligation that I'm trying to make people better appreciate, just how first of all, how beautiful the ocean is. And,
yes.
I always say like, hey, the waves do the work at the end of the day. And I like that, I like the fact that you can kind of bridge the gap of understanding, because it doesn't matter where you're from or if you've never even seen the ocean. When you see a little tiny human on a giant wall of water looking like the parting of the Red Sea, you kind of get an idea of maybe our insignificance and somehow just kind of, tap into something a little more pure than just or something a little more heavy than just surfing.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. And and you've been a strong spokesperson for, and we're joined by Laird Hamilton here in the extreme scene. You've been a strong spokesperson for maintaining the environmental sanctity of the oceans, which is really fantastic that you do that kind of work. I think I just saw you in the news recently in Malibu trying to protest some plant or something, along with a bunch of Hollywood people. But I have an interesting question. You're an incredibly talented athlete. Do you ever consider joining in these competitions?
Which ones?
Like what? Like any of them? There's really like 3 or 4 major big wave contests. There's one, just one island over at the Eddie Aikau. I guess they call it now. I don't even know what they call it anymore. But it's at Waimea Bay.
I was invited to the Eddie for a long time, and it was 5 or 6 bad years, and they never had it. And we started going to the outer reefs, and for me, it's really an artistic expression, and there's so many different facets to it, and I'm really not a good participant. I don't really like to be told when to go in and when to come out, and how well I did when I did that. So I'm a little more reluctant, when it comes to participating. I've done some racing. I windsurfing, paddleboarding. I like the clock. The clock it doesn't lie.
Right.
And it doesn't have an opinion. It just is, and you're slow or you're fast, and you can cry about it later.